Welcome back to the Higher Form Podcast. We're here every week having real conversations with leaders, coaches, and everyday people about what it takes to become your best. We know life will test you, and we're here to share practical tips, tools, and relatable stories to help you build the highest form of your life.
Today, we are chatting about health improvements that have nothing to do with fitness. I don't know if you guys can tell, but we are sitting in different seats today. So if you watch our YouTube videos, I am where Nick usually sits, and Nick is where I usually sit. The reason being is at the end of every episode, he likes to guess how long it was. Like, how long did it take us to film that? And he's spot on almost every single time.
Like an 85 to 95% rate, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, somewhere. Nate's nodding his head. He's our producer, and he's like, yeah, he's pretty on it. But I recognize that there's a clock right above the camera where he sits. So I'm like, you're cheating. You're literally looking at the clock when we start and when we finish. So I can't really trust that your guess of how long the episode is accurate. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit where you sit today. So with this episode, you can guess how long it was at the very end.
I might let you guess first.
I mean, you why don't we guess on the camera, and we'll see if you're right or wrong.
I'm not afraid of the pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, what are we here for again?
Bantering back and forth.
Yeah, today we're not going to talk about anything other than
we're just going to give each other a hard time about
talking
all kinds of things. How to improve your health with things not necessarily related to fitness. We're going to go a couple different directions with this today, but I think everybody's like, oh, I want to get healthier. Like, okay, you got to work out and eat good. It's like, okay, well, there's so many.
What's the latest new diet or workout plan? But
yeah, there's so many other aspects of your like lifestyle to getting healthy or improving your health that aren't necessarily related to working out or eating healthy, which those are obviously integral parts of being healthy.
Yeah.
But there's other parts that I think get neglected or don't get as much face time.
Yeah. Well, I feel like fitness and nutrition are downstream of like the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like you have to really get in a rhythm with your routine. You have to be in the right environment. You have to manage your stress.
Yeah.
Talked about that like big umbrella of stress that is optimizing your health and performance. And
yeah,
I think a lot of that gets wrapped up in like how I'm working out and how I'm eating.
Yeah.
But it is so much bigger than that.
Yeah, there's so many other lifestyle factors that are going to impact, one, your ability to work out and eat healthy, right? Or how your body's recovering from your working out. And yeah.
Well, I mean, helping to define what a lifestyle is.
Yeah.
And you hear people talk about like, I want to live a healthy lifestyle. And a healthy lifestyle is not just exercising and eating right.
Yeah.
A healthy lifestyle is what you're consuming emotionally, socially, what types of news outlets you're plugged into, what type of people in your life,
what your home environment is, like where you live, like is it crazy cluttery or do you keep up with managing your home? I mean, there's so many things that come into play.
One of the best ways to like hack your way into being more motivated is to create environments that stimulate a certain type of energy or feel.
Are conducive to being successful in the habits that maybe you're trying to add to your life or routines that you want to, solidify. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're like, I want to work out more consistently, I'm going to put a gym in my house, and you have this dingy little room that you throw some dumbbells and a mat and a $250 treadmill in, like that environment is probably not going to energize or motivate you the same as if you walk into a place that is specifically designed to really help you elevate your performance physically.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good example because a lot of people probably have a couple dumbbells in their basement or a little area.
I got a gym at the house, but I never use it. I'm like, well, why don't you use that?
Yeah.
Because the environment is not all that motivating.
Yeah. Yeah. Or conducive to you to be productive in the way that you want to be.
Yeah. We get compliments about the lighting at the gym all the time.
Yeah.
I love the lighting. I'm like, that's energy.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell bad when you walk in. Like some gyms do. We've bought non-toxic scents to plug in the wall.
Well, and like, what are they? Activated charcoal bags that absorb like odors and stuff that we have placed randomly around the gym just to, people do sweat and they might have an odor in the meantime, but it's not going to like linger.
Some people definitely have an odor. Let's be real.
I was being nice.
We're not going to call them out.
But like, you don't want that odor to linger for the rest of the day. Right. And so we have things in place to help with that in our gym. But yeah,
An
silly.
example of an environment.
Yeah, example of environment.
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
think that it's easy to bolt on habits to your routine, but if you don't create a lifestyle that's conducive to those habits really being immersed into that routine,
Yeah.
then they're not going to stick and they're not going to last. And I think that that's one of the biggest reasons people don't get consistent is because they look at doing something more or differently, but they don't really create a lifestyle around making that something that
Yeah.
can be repeated on a regular basis and
Yeah.
that motivates you and makes it desirable to actually follow through with what needs to happen.
Let's say you are somebody who has to like wake up at 5 a.m. and work out.
Yeah.
Maybe you set your clothes out the night before, but
Mm-hmm.
your closet is like crazy messy and like it takes you a long time to find your clothes, or maybe in the morning you don't set your clothes out and it just takes you forever to like, get dressed because your like workout tops are here and your shorts are here and whatever. It's just like setting up your closet so you can easily find the clothes that you need to get ready for the day with, or
Yeah.
pack your stuff to get to the gym on time or
Yeah.
whatever. Like that's just a simple little lifestyle thing that can impact your ability to get to the gym,
Mm-hmm.
which is the fitness thing. But it's like, well, what are you doing at home to set yourself up for success to be able to get to the gym on
Yeah.
time or at all or whatever?
Yeah. Preparing in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I think, one of many different forms.
Yeah.
Having a kitchen that you enjoy spending time prepping food in
Yeah.
has the right light and
Yeah.
gives you enough space and
Yeah.
investing in the resources that allow that process to be more efficient or
Yeah. Or appliances or tools that help
yeah,
meal
like
prepping
that
be efficient.
Ninja 3-in-1 was a game changer for us.
Yeah. It's like an air fryer and a pressure cooker, and
Mhm.
you can saute in it and stuff too. But like that's primarily what we use it for, is air frying and pressure cooking.
Yeah, I think
We
about if we didn't have that, like how much harder it would be for us to cook, or how much not harder, I guess,
We
how
would
much
just
less
have to, I was
convenience.
gonna say convenience.
Yeah,
Yeah, convenience. I mean, we use that like every day for something, whether I'm pressure cooking some chicken for this
hard boiling some
recipe or
eggs,
hard boiling some eggs or air frying up this or whatever.
chicken
Yeah.
nuggets for the boys.
Yeah. Or just like it's brutally cold to like grill outside, so sometimes I'll use the air fryer to
Hmm.
grill up some chicken instead of the grill if I don't want to go outside.
Yeah,
But yeah, yeah, those are, I think, little things in your life that help being healthier a little bit more convenient, that have nothing to do with the actual exercising, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So designing your lifestyle to be conducive to the habits that need to happen
Yeah.
instead of just trying to do the habits without creating space or convenience for them to become more naturally
Yeah.
integrated.
Yeah, for sure. Making it a little easier to integrate it.
It reminds
Yeah.
me of the perfect day activity that we've had mentors
Yeah.
in the past
Yeah.
encourage us to do, where it's like, what is your perfect day? What does it look like? Name it down to the detail. Like I
Yeah.
wake up, my clothes are set out the night before
Yeah.
because I prepared. I brush my teeth, I use the restroom, I do my hair, I grab the things that were already set out. I go into the other room and I pull out the pre-prepped meal that I had
Hmm.
and I put that into the microwave while I go get dressed or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
down to the detail if you can look at your perfect day. And I think so many people have more control over what type of life they want than maybe they really take ownership of.
Yeah, that's true.
I
I would
mean,
say.
that was the reason that they had recommended is like, you guys are getting to a point to where you're seeing things come to life, but when you've worked so hard to create a specific outcome and you get just like in the mix where you're just used to the grind,
Yeah.
you have to like start to look for some enjoyment in how you spend your days, especially if you want to continue to like enjoy the process.
Yeah, for sure. And not feel like we talked about in our last episode, just feeling like you're in the rat race all the time
Yeah.
and go, go, go and productive for, I mean, there's reasons, but no reasons.
Yeah, well,
Um,
designing your lifestyle starts with designing your perfect day.
yeah. So sitting down, ironing out what your perfect day maybe looks like, and like that to the T, like what does it look like? What foods am I eating
How
and
much
how am
time
I
am I
getting
spending at
it?
work? What am I listening to on my way to work?
Yeah.
When do I get to spend time with my kids or what am I doing after work? When do I get my workout in?
Yeah. And
Really planning it
then
out.
reverse engineering, right? You're like, okay, what do I already do a good job of? What do I need to do these other things or
Hmm.
get to the point where these other things are accessible to me?
Yeah.
And so I think that's a good activity for anybody, no matter
Hmm.
where you're at in your life for your journey. Like, what does a perfect day look like for you, and how far off are you from it now?
Yeah.
And what can you do to start getting there?
Yeah. And realizing too that the perfect day may not be accessible every day.
Yeah,
You
for
might
sure.
start at a point to where I only get 1 or 2 perfect days a week because maybe I don't love my job. I just do it because it provides a means to an end,
Yeah.
and it's where I'm at in my life, and I've come to grips with that. So my perfect day can be on Saturdays and Sundays,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
and that's okay. How do you make the most perfect day you can out of the days where maybe you are like doing things that aren't ideal, but it's because
Yeah.
it is a stepping stone in the process to get where you want to be long term.
Well, and you've talked about this before, is like your day has like three different days
Mm-hmm.
too, right? And so like you've got your morning 6 hours, your afternoon 6 hours, and your evening 6 hours or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. And so then you can even narrow it down to like, what's my perfect morning? What's my perfect evening look like? And then you're working in the middle of that. And obviously you're just kind of working so that, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So like maybe instead of a full on perfect day right now, you're just like, I can just focus on what a perfect morning looks like for me or what a perfect evening looks like for me.
Try to break it up in like 4 to 5 hour chunks.
Yeah, I
I
know,
really
just
do like
picking
to
random
sleep. Yeah,
numbers.
for sure. I'm just like, if for anyone who wants to really drill this down and
Yeah,
use it, I picked this up from a podcast that Jackie actually recommended to me. It was with Ed Milet
yeah,
and Jay Shetty, and they were talking about how you can split your days up into sections.
yeah.
And if you can get something, if you get really hyper focused in like a 4 to 6 hour block, however, depending on how much you want to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get as much done in one 4 to 6 hour block as someone else who maybe is like going through the motions, not organized, not
Yeah,
intentional about their values and their focus and their
yeah.
effort and their energy, you can make just as much progress in a third of your day that some people make in
A full
a
day
full day.
or a full week or whatever.
So
Yeah,
just back to like what we talked about in that how to be a high performer
yeah,
episode, this is a little bit in line with that, where it's like split your days up
yeah,
and you can be a high performer and just be really hyper focused on things in that like 4 to 6 hour block,
yeah,
but then also get a chance to have these other blocks in your day, and they don't have to be perfectly even.
yeah,
It doesn't have to be 4 4 hour block or 3 4 hour
yeah,
blocks. Like
yeah,
it could
for
be,
sure.
I get a 2 hour chunk and that's my morning, and then I work from 10 to 4, and then from 4 to 9 that's a family time,
Yeah.
like I think just splitting it up helps for sure.
Well, and I feel like morning routines are such a big thing on social media.
Hmm.
I don't know if you see that in your
Yes and
algorithm
no. I think
or
I've
if
kind
it's
of
more
like
of a female
separated
thing.
myself from, definitely not a female thing.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
I've really been doing my best to separate myself from people that like really praise the idea of like the perfect morning routine.
Yeah, like I'm up at 5 and I journal and I do this and I do that. And then by 8 p.m. or 8 a.m., I'm, headed in for my day. And I'm like, well, that's just not going to happen every day for everybody all the
There's two different ways
time.
to look at it because I can see the value of having a routine in the morning, even if it's as simple as every morning I wake up, I brush my teeth, I eat some breakfast, I take some supplements, I put my right shoe on, I put my left shoe on. You know what I mean? Like I
I
think
mean, I think that's
break down
normal.
to
Like,
micro habits.
yeah,
Gosh, another podcast I listened to with a guy that was a former Navy SEAL. He talked about how like my first 12 things that I do every day are exactly the same.
yeah.
And all these people will praise this idea of like
It's that I know who you're
cold
talking
bath.
about.
I blanked on his
I
name.
know. Yeah.
But it's like cold bath and then journal and then meditate. And it's like, well, you can't take 2 hours, but if you can do the same 12 things every day, he's like
Yeah.
literally down to like the night before, I lay my things out so that I have an uninterrupted 12 things in a row. And
Like,
I do those same exact 12 things. And as I'm going through them, it doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter how tired I am. It
yeah.
doesn't matter what I have going on that day. That is my time to establish my routine
Yeah.
and to get into a rhythm. And then by the time I'm done with those 12 things, I had complete control over how I started my day.
Yeah.
And it may be only 10 minutes that it takes me to do those things.
Well, and it can be as simple as like getting out of bed,
One,
putting my clothes on,
two,
going to brush my teeth,
three,
going to make my coffee,
four.
just like simple
Yeah.
things like that. It doesn't have to be journal, meditation, whatever,
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what he was talking about. Is it's
Yeah.
like, it's not the things that people would like glorify. There we go. I think
Glamorize.
glamorize. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
No.
Keep going.
You get what I'm saying,
I
though.
do. Yeah, I do.
So creating your perfect day, back to that, if you can get intentional about what you really want and enjoy and what you value,
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a great example of like how you can create alignment with your values. Like, what do I value? I value
Yeah.
time with my family.
Yeah.
I value the way I feel after a workout. I value not starting my day by checking my phone for my email, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
might be, but
Mm-hmm.
you have more control over the environment and the emotions you allow yourself to be triggered by
Yeah.
than you think. And if
Yeah.
you aren't intentional about that, then you aren't creating the right environment or lifestyle that's going to be conducive to your overall health.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So I think that just goes into just like time management. I think that's a huge thing that a lot of people maybe don't do,
Yeah.
is managing how they go about their day.
Yep.
So figuring out what your perfect day looks like, and then like time blocking and managing where you are spending your time.
Yep.
So you have some sort of plan. So you're not just running around kind of chaotic all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that the role that you're in with your profession, your career has a big influence on how you manage your time.
totally. Because you have expectations for that that
Yeah,
you
for
might not
sure.
have
But
control
I
over.
think like what you do, right? Like let's say that you're a customer service rep
Mm-hmm.
and you need to be more like on call and available. The way you time block is going to look different than someone who has a task execution based job.
Yeah, yeah,
Where like if my job is task based, then I might be blocking things out in little like 15-minute windows.
yeah,
But if I'm somebody who is maybe more service based, like I'm servicing training sessions or
yeah,
whatever, like I have to tap into that mode and I need to be putting like 30 to 60-minute blocks.
yeah,
Or maybe you're somebody who is in more of a management level role and you've got deep work to do, or you're working on really highly focused creative product
yeah,
projects. Like I imagine Nate, I don't know if you do this, but like your job in editing is not like an hour long task. You have like probably hours on end, so you block out a massive chunk to go deep on that work,
yeah, yeah,
So it's one of
yeah,
those things where it's like
yeah,
what
absolutely.
your responsibilities are will highly dictate how you do it, but you got to figure out how to do it in some capacity.
Yeah, for sure. And in general, that's what I mean. Like, you've got your morning chunk, your afternoon chunk, your evening chunk, but like time blocking within your chunks of time. Like, what do I need to get done today?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
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 Well, and I think even just like as simple as using something like Google Calendar to color code it for you.
We're very big Google Calendar people.
Well, yeah, because our life would be chaotic if
No,
we
I
didn't
agree.
have
I'm
it,
just saying, like,
Yeah.
that's how we keep track of not only all the different meetings or appointments that we have, but like we schedule our workouts in. And if we're going to do something on the weekend with somebody, like we're both invited to that. So we can both see that on our schedule. Like we live and die by our Google Calendar because we have to, because we're managing personal life, business life, so many other things that we have to have it organized somewhere.
Yeah, and if you
Yeah.
own a business, you could probably understand that even inside of your professional life, there are different hats you wear.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with one of our managers the other day about like I have to be a different person in a training session than I am when I'm running a staff meeting.
Yeah.
I have to be a different person when I'm in a
Consultation.
consultation than I am when I'm doing deep work.
Yeah.
And when I color code those, it allows my brain to say, like, I need to turn into this version of myself and tap into that piece. And that's hard to jump from one task to another. And they take different skill sets
Yeah.
and focus items. So if you can kind of like make associations with how to make that like transition into the different focus points,
Yeah.
I think being able to have that organized is going to be key because then you can multiply how efficient you are in
Yeah.
your effectiveness in where you're spending your time because
Yeah.
it's like there's no lack of clarity, there's no lack of understanding. It's like, oh, this is a navy blue session, that's a training hour, I got to put my trainer hat on.
Yeah.
This is a yellow session, this is a opportunity to chat with somebody about helping them get started with their health and fitness journey.
Yeah.
I've got to be able to like turn on my consultant hat,
Yeah.
This is a staff meeting, I got to put my leader and visionary hat on.
Well, and I think this goes back to like we have to make millions of decisions every single day.
Hmm.
And so it's reducing decision fatigue because
Yes.
you already know what's expected in that next time block of your day, of where you need to be mentally for that.
I think that's one of the biggest benefits of like what we do for people. Like that's one of the things I find myself talking to prospective clients about the
Yeah.
most is like you have so much on your plate as a busy professional, as an adult, as a
Parent.
parent, no matter what you have, everybody's got a lot going on in their lives.
Yeah.
It's all
Everybody.
it's all relative.
Yeah.
And the less you can have to think about certain things, and you can focus more on the effort and energy you put into it, not so much the creativity and the structure behind it and the strategy,
Yeah.
it makes it so much easier to show up and actually like pour into it.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's part of building a healthier lifestyle is having a team of people or a system around what you do that allows you to come in and like get the most out of where you're spending your effort and energy.
Well, and it's we've learned this in business too, is like outsourcing for things that
Yes.
you are not an expert on, but you obviously want or need to be successful with
Yeah,
it.
like
So,
I'm not like doing all the video stuff for the
yeah, no, we have
podcast.
a
Like,
producer. His name
yeah,
is Nate.
yeah,
We wouldn't be able to do the whole setup without him
yeah,
because one, we'd have to learn so much.
yeah. The
Not the only
mental,
reason.
that's one,
That's one of the,
two, three, four,
yeah,
five,
yeah,
six.
no, that's
Yeah,
it. Like one reason is like we would have to learn how to plug everything in and all the different equipment needed. I mean, there's just so much knowledge that he already has. Let's use him for his expertise because we're not experts in it.
correct.
So,
Yeah, and how you do that will look different, right? And it all goes back to like you can create your own unique perfect day and days and weeks and those things based off of what you're focused on. It's just an example. Like another one more in the personal life is I really truly enjoy spending time outdoors, but I don't want my only outdoor time on a weekend being focused on keeping our yard looking nice.
yeah, we pay for people to come mow our lawn and
Yeah,
pick up the leaves in, the fall. And
yeah.
because at the end of the day, your
Time is
time
money.
is money,
Yeah.
and where you spend your time is important, and you want to spend it doing things as a family versus, working on the yard.
And before, if you're thinking this, before you're like, well, I can't afford to go pay a
Yeah.
producer or do this, I'm like, well, that's called leverage. We couldn't afford it either until we did it.
Yeah.
And then we found a way to be able to take our energy and our time and be more efficient in other areas so that we can make up for what we were spending or investing
Yeah.
in
Investing
other
is,
areas,
yeah.
investing for
Yeah.
sure.
It's a good word.
And it's like, I just had this conversation with someone the other day about like, you have to make decisions to move the needle forward in ways that you don't have the ability to do so you can create the opportunity to accommodate and acclimate to that opportunity to create that lifestyle, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have to invest before you have it,
I think that's very
you know?
common in business, but it's
And in
harder.
life too.
Oh, I know. I'm saying it's more common for business people to understand
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
aspect than you applying that thought process to your personal
yeah.
life. So we challenge you to apply that thought process to things in your personal life to make
Yeah,
your
it'd be
personal
hard to go
life.
through every single scenario of what we
No,
can do, but I
of
think it's just
course.
really looking at like how are you spending your time.
Yeah.
Another example of something simple is like how much TV am I watching? How much time am I spending scrolling on my phone?
Yeah.
What could I be doing there instead? And even if it's like I want something to consume my brain, maybe take and channel that towards like studying for something that
Will further you along in an
correct.
endeavor of yours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something you're passionate about, something you want
Yeah.
to learn about, something that makes you better in life.
Yeah.
Whether you want to, maybe you want to learn how to speak Spanish or a different language, or
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Maybe you
Yeah.
want to get this certification or start this side hustle or whatever it might be. But it's like
Yeah.
you can consume things that make you better, not just consume things for the sake of like being brainless.
Yeah. So I think
And I'm
that
as guilty as anybody is with that.
Well, I
But
think we all go through ebbs and flows of
yep,
maybe being more productive in times of our lives than others,
for
right?
sure.
But yeah, I think just to round that all out, like just managing your time, assessing where you're putting your time first, and
Yeah.
then managing it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And recognizing that when there's a system and a flow and like a little bit less resistance to that. Like it creates less chaos. You're less stressed.
Yeah.
You can be more present in things that you're doing.
Well, and like I said, it reduces like decision fatigue because you just like
Anxiety. Yeah.
anxiety, your mental bandwidth of just like
Hmm.
managing your day. I think it just helps with all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we mentioned this a little bit earlier, but like the environment on another level with that, it's every little detail. So like an example I can think of there is like in the evenings,
Mm.
we have put like little salt lamps
Like pink
or
salt lamps
yep,
that it's like, not LED lights,
yeah,
not bright lights.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like low light, like low yellow, calm, soft lights
Mm-hmm.
around the house. We almost have like two sets of lights between the lamps we have, and then like there's one light in our kitchen that's a little bit softer
It's more
versus another
orangey,
other light. Yeah,
yellowy.
yeah,
Yeah. So like and they even say this, like you want to calm the energy in your home at least like 2 hours before bed.
hmm
And that's how we do it at our house is I go around and I turn on all of our like salt lamps and like low light lamps and I turn all of our big overhead lights off.
yep,
And so that just kind of gets your nervous system starting to like calm down from the bright chaoticness of a day maybe.
hmm
And I think that's really important of just like setting the environment, particularly for getting yourself ready for sleep. That's
yep,
an example. Yeah.
yep,
But also I think another example of setting your environment is just having a relatively clean home.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, like your closet is organized. So when you're getting ready for the day, you're not like spending 30 minutes trying to find this or that or something. Like,
Yeah.
I think those are things that impact your stressors in your day
Yeah, well, it's like I'm silly, but we pack our lunch most days.
every day,
Yeah, pretty
unless,
much every day. I don't
yeah,
know if there's many days where we don't,
yeah,
because we're cooking, I'd say like 90% of our meals
yeah,
from home. And even just the act of taking the used dishes out of my lunchbox
from the
and
day
putting
before. Yeah.
and not putting them on the counter, but like putting them in the dishwasher or doing the dishes in the moment. It's one of those things where in the past maybe it would have been like, I don't feel like doing that right now. But I've really been intentional about training my brain really for two reasons. So we'll get into number
Okay.
two. Number one, because I know that it didn't take me that long. And I'm like, don't be a lazy ass. This is how you do anything, is how you do everything.
Yeah.
Take 5 minutes to do the dishes. I know you don't love doing it,
Yeah.
but like put
But
it away.
it helps not having a cluttery counter,
The
right?
second reason is because Brittany's love language, one of the primary ones, is acts of service.
I honestly don't know many females that isn't their primary love language.
We'll take a poll or something
I
later.
know. Give us your results in the comments or something.
Yeah, for real. But it's one of those things where I'm like, I know that if I don't leave a dish out, which sounds so irresponsible for me to not do it that way in hindsight.
But it's just a lazier way of going about an
Yeah.
action, right? You're just like, oh, I'll just put it by the sink and somebody
And I'll
else,
get to it
and
later
I'll get
or
to it
somebody else
later if
do.
somebody
Yeah.
else will do it.
There's that video where the guy's like, I have this magic trick where I put all of my dirty clothes on the table, and then if I leave it there for a day, they just disappear.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens to them, but magically in like 48 hours, they end up back where they belong, folded and clean. I don't get it.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, it
Gosh,
would be
it'd be
nice.
so nice. No, but like just going through the extra effort of like cleaning your kitchen up the night before, so then when you wake up in the morning, you're not like, I've got dishes all over my
Yeah, starting your
kitchen.
next day, picking up after the mess you left
Well, and
behind.
starting it like behind or stress or
Hmm.
anxious because it's messy. Like some people don't do good in messy. So it's like make sure you set yourself up appropriately so you don't get to that emotional state,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And not allowing it to get so far out of control that you end up in this environment, like you said, where it's just like it's just straight chaos, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And that's stressful for anybody
Yeah,
to be in a chaotic, messy situation.
for sure. And I think even also on the opposite end of that, like there are going to be times where you can't control all of that and you do only have so
Like
much
we have
capacity.
monster trucks all
That's what
over
I was
our
getting at. Yeah.
house. There's Hot Wheels and monster trucks
Yep.
on literally every counter and surface, but there's not dirty, cluttered dishes everywhere, right? I mean, I think there's a
Yeah,
difference.
well, that's what I mean. Like there's sometimes where I'm like, I'm not gonna clean up all the monster trucks right now because like they're gonna
Yeah.
get pulled right back out the next day.
Yeah.
But we also work on like, okay, let's get them to work on helping us pick it up and teach them these behaviors and work on
Totally.
the habits. And
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
days it works well and some days it doesn't. But I think
Yeah.
that creating time in your schedule to allow for that to happen. So even if it only happens 1 or 2 days a week, where you're like every Wednesday, every Sunday, like these are days where we just like press reset and the things we didn't get to catch up with, I've got 2 hours on each of those days to do that.
Yeah. Just to kind of like clean sweep all the little things around the house, maybe,
Yep.
or
Yep.
loose ends that you're trying to tie up before the end of the day or at the start of the day, whatever works for you, right?
Yeah. And I think there's more awareness around this, but a lot of it comes down to people's ability to manage their nervous system.
Yeah, absolutely. I
I,
think it's becoming more popular for people to
I feel
recognize
like
that
people are
their nervous
talking about
system
that
is a
more.
lot
Yeah.
of the problem
Yeah.
of why they feel so much stress or anxiety
It's just so
or,
easy to get overstimulated.
oh my gosh, so easy. It's because we're stimulated all day long everywhere we look. And if you're not stimulated, you'll pull your phone out and you'll get stimulated, right? Like
It's an addiction.
if you're
Yeah.
not busy at work or you're not busy at home, you're scrolling your phone and that's keeping you stimulated. We're constantly busy.
Yeah. Well, and if we aren't, like you said, if we aren't busy, we find something to keep us busy.
That's what I mean. Or you put a show on
Yeah.
or something like that, right? Whether it's the phone or the TV, like there's just so many things out there to keep us busy.
Yeah. And I've gotten into a lot of the stoicism type stuff in the past. I never ended
Hmm.
up reading this book from Ryan Holiday, but I think it was like silence is key or something like that.
Okay.
It was one of the books I remember somebody recommending a while back after I'd read The Obstacle is the Way, which is one I talk about a lot. But it's just this reality that like it's pretty rare for us in today's day and age to get much like just time for nothing.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
I
yeah.
think why I love going to the mountains so much, and
Yeah.
why, trips out in nature have always felt really healing, and why they're so good for people to get outside is that
Yeah.
if you just like get outside and just like be one with
Be
nature.
one with
Yeah,
earth.
really though. I mean,
Nature, like go to a mountain, put your feet in sand at a
yeah,
beach and breathe the salt air. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
there's so many ways to do
Just
it.
put yourself in a space that doesn't allow that to happen. I know that we don't all have the luxury of being able to do that whenever we want,
Yeah.
and where you live is heavily dependent on your opportunities.
Yeah.
But being able to create those types of environments for yourself is key.
Yeah.
So if you can't do that, then maybe like everybody can get in a vehicle or grab a bus or plane or train ticket and go
Yeah.
check something out every once in a while. And I think changing your environment significantly on a somewhat frequent basis
Yeah.
is key to help you reset your nervous system so that you can really like force check yourself out of all of the
Yeah.
just busyness,
Yeah, definitely. Well, and I think we talked about this with my interview with Michaela is like just putting your feet in the ground
Yeah.
to like in your yard, in your grass.
Yeah.
And that's so important for just like connecting
Mhm.
with the earth and your nervous system and decompressing.
Yeah,
So,
grounding is real.
yeah, no, grounding's a real thing. Look it up. I
Look it
don't have all
up.
the ins and the outs on the top of my brain
Well,
right
I mean, you
now,
got to think
but
about electricity collectively.
that's, yeah,
It's like when you touch things, sometimes you get shocked
yeah,
or like
yeah.
what or whatever. It's not
So
shocked,
it
but
kind of just helps reset your
yeah.
system. Yeah.
Yep. But no, I think that, if you can't put yourself in a position where you ever have awareness and some level of control of this like constant mental load or stimulus, it's hard to feel emotionally safe and in control because
Yeah.
everything is just always like,
Feel like you're managing 50,000 things all the
well, we just
time.
talked about like how to be a high performer. And if you're the type of person who has that mindset, this is probably one of the most challenging pieces.
It probably is for most people,
Yeah, for
right?
sure. But
Yeah.
especially for the people that are like, I'm a go-getter,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you don't have the desire necessarily to take your foot off the gas because you just like crave the
That's
the
true.
game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I
The
love the game.
anticipation of chasing the next thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's why I really appreciate when we take time to go out and like do things outdoors,
Yeah.
and when we go to the mountains, and like that's
Well,
just
every
other
time
stuff
we've
like
come
that.
back from
I
like
feel like a different human.
a vacation of
Yes.
some sort, which almost every time we go on a vacation, we're going to do something physically active,
Yep.
whether it's hiking or even if we go to a beach, like we're going to find something physical to do.
Yeah.
But we come back with like a renewed sense of like where our priorities are,
Hmm.
what's important to us. It's just like a reset almost.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of people can attest to that too. I just like coming back from vacation just allows you to like reset your intentions and your priorities and where your mindset is. It
Well,
gives you, because it gives you a break from your daily responsibilities.
and it's hard to be able to step back and reflect and refocus without taking a intentional and significant break from things.
Break. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you're caught in the middle of it, it's just like
The
boom,
rat race
boom,
again.
boom,
Yeah.
boom. Like it's just a circle of continuing to run through all the things that have to get done or that you want to get done or that you need to get done.
Yeah.
When I don't have things to do, what am I doing? So how do I distract myself to try to decompress? But instead of decompressing, we're actually making it worse, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So forcing opportunities for that, I think, is super important.
Yeah.
And then putting yourself in environments where you can relate with people, because you've mentioned this. I think everybody goes through some form of these types of challenges.
Yeah.
It's just the world we live in. And when you can realize that you're not alone in the way that you feel and the things you experience, it makes it easier to just take a deep breath and be like, whew.
Well, I got two examples here. You had your no luck club
Yes.
gathering
Yep.
with, it was a bunch of
It's
men,
like 40 dudes here.
40 dudes, men, dads, uncles, brothers, whatever. And you guys sat, you got a workout in, but afterwards you sat and you got connected and just kind of told stories about things. And it just reminds you, like, I'm not the only dad, for your example, like I'm not the only dad that maybe struggles with this or it has the pressure of this and that's hard sometimes and
Yeah.
whatever. And I think moms have tried to find lots of like mom groups or other mom friends that they can like deload their stressors with because they know that they're going through the same thing. Like
Yeah.
me, like I've got a couple of friends who also have young kids. So if I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed about this or that, like it's just nice to like unload on other people that are in similar situations to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, community and connection are just so
Yeah.
much at the foundation of things that we need that are hard to, as you get older, stay involved with
Yeah.
because you do have so much stuff going on that it makes
Totally.
it difficult to really be like, you know, I I I need that time, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think that's why another aspect of things that don't necessarily involve fitness to be healthy is just your relationships and the people in
Hmm.
your circle, the people that you surround yourself with, the people that you look out for either mentorship or support.
Yeah. And I think the ultimate hack here is creating those environments within your work when you have the opportunity to. You know what I mean? And integrating all that together is like work and life and
Yeah.
play and all these things.
Yeah.
When you can mash all that stuff together,
Yeah.
not everybody chooses career paths that allow that, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But I
That's
think
true.
that that's like the ultimate hack is if you had the opportunity to integrate it all together, like put yourself around people you enjoy spending time with when you're
Yeah.
doing work that you're passionate about.
I was gonna say,
You know
what
what
do
I
they
mean?
say? Like, if you do a job that you love, you're never working a day in your
Yeah.
life or something, whatever
Well,
that
that's why
quote is.
when we talked about this before, where it's like, what does an ideal day off for you look like? And I'm like, I don't really love taking time off because I like what I do,
Yeah.
unless I get to a point to where there's an improper balance and where my
Yeah.
priorities or time is
Or
being
a lack
spent.
of vision of why
Well,
you're
why
doing
I'm
what
doing
you're
it or what I'm
doing.
doing,
Yeah.
yeah, which even in the most focused scenarios, I think is realistic for people to get off board with,
Yeah,
or
no.
lose track of, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah.
But
Well, and I think just at the end of the day, your community, let's say your work and your personal life, it's not all integrated. And you
mhm,
have your work life, and then you have your personal life, and then you have your home life, and they're all
yep,
kind of separate. And I think that's okay too, because that's probably the reality for most people.
yeah,
But to find your little community at work, to find your community in your personal life, in your gym life, at home.
yeah,
Yeah, I think just relationships and community is so important to feeling fulfilled emotionally.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't help but to realize that I haven't been able to see the green light or the red light go off, and I keep finding myself kind of like peeking out of the corner of my eye here.
Yeah, so Nate, our producer, he has a green light and a red light to
I'm like, if
notify
I'm gonna
us when
guess
we
this
hit
time
certain
right, I gotta see when that
timestamps
light changes.
in our recording. You guys are learning a lot about the back end of the recording today. You're losing control over here, aren't you?
I mean,
Feeling off.
I surrendered it before, but I got to thinking like, man, we've been talking for a while, and I don't really have a great sense of time with where I'm sitting right now.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm, yeah, I was like, wonder how long we've been in here, and I'm like trying to peek out of the corner of my eye.
Squirrel, you can
Oh,
turn your head. It's okay.
no,
Okay.
I'm not looking. Can you
Okay.
tell I'm looking? I'm not looking.
We're at green light.
I know, I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. On to the next.
Not to get too sidetracked. Another big one, and it may feel like it's obvious, but I think that
I think it's obvious, but it still goes underrated, is
yes,
sleep.
yeah,
I mean, sleep is foundational to so many things: hormone regulation,
yeah,
recovery, mental stamina. I mean, like literally so many things.
yeah. Well,
Naming more, name more.
there's a lot. We could sit and have a whole podcast. We need to find a sleep
We
expert
should.
local.
A local Kansas City sleep expert
If
if
you know
you
one,
know
tag
any.
us and send it our way, and we'll bring them on board.
Yeah, for sure.
Saw a stat the other day about this, and it said that someone who is consistently sleeping 6 hours a night performs no better in cognitive assessments than someone who has been sleep deprived for 24 hours.
I can attest to that.
If somebody is consistently sleeping for 4 hours per night, they do not assess any better than somebody who has been sleep deprived for 48 hours.
Yeah. So if you're sleeping 4 or 6 hours consistently, you're basically running on sleep deprivation,
Correct.
energy, and
Yeah.
mental
Yeah, your
capacity.
sleep
And
bank is
yeah,
draining.
yeah,
That 7 to 8 hour mark is going to be optimal. And if you're not getting a minimum of seven, you are 100% going to pay for it in other areas of performance.
yeah. Like, yeah, you might not feel super tired or something,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that it's not impacting you in so many other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The red light's off. All right, cool.
Okay.
Time's ticking.
We've
We'll do
hit
that.
another limit.
I actually am feeling like I'm going to lose this guess, but we're going to keep moving on.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
the sleep thing though, I feel like it's one of those things where you have to understand how it impacts each scenario.
Yeah.
If you're trying to lose weight or control your body composition, one of the most important things that happens overnight is hormone regulation,
Hmm.
including your hunger hormones.
And your sex hormones. I mean,
Correct.
yeah.
But I think a lot of people aren't able to regulate their appetite appropriately
Hmm.
because leptin and ghrelin, your hunger and satiety hormones, are off when you're not sleeping appropriately.
Yeah.
If your sex hormones are off, if your metabolic hormones, your thyroid, like all those things are regulated when you are recovering and you're recovering when you are sleeping.
Yeah.
Then you think about cognitive performance
Yeah.
and your capacity to have the energy appropriate for whatever tasks you're trying to tackle, to
Hmm.
be able to think on your feet, to be able to be emotionally available in certain scenarios. Like that stuff happens when you sleep.
Yeah.
So if you are putting yourself in a position where you are not getting at least 7 hours of sleep every night,
You're
you're
doing yourself a disservice.
100% doing yourself a disservice. And you're literally taking years off of your life. I know
Yeah.
that at one of the podcasts we'd done before, there was a stat somewhere in there about how like severe or chronic sleep deprivation is literally shaving years off of your life.
Yeah. So just like go to bed. Simple as that.
Yeah. But I mean, I think going back and being like, create an environment that is
Yes.
conducive to you being able to get to sleep on time.
Which is turning your lights down low a few hours before bed, like we mentioned earlier, like setting your environment up
And
for
if you
the
feel like you
energy.
need to watch a show or scroll your phone, like we're not going to guilt trip you for that. We do those things too, but then put some blue light blockers on.
Yeah.
Like you can get them for $15 at the store.
Yeah.
Putting yourself in a dark environment, bringing down the temperature, cuddling up in a nice warm blanket,
Yeah.
putting yourself in environments that allow that to be a conducive and simple behavior makes it a lot easier.
Well, I know we're not talking about supplements particularly, but like we've been taking
That's
magnesium.
lifestyle design
I
though, you know
know,
what I
that's what I'm
mean?
saying. Like we've been taking magnesium glycinate, however you want to say it, regularly for a while now.
Yeah.
And I swear I like lay in bed and I feel it
I just
kick
stopped
in
taking,
and I feel my body start to like want to go to sleep.
yeah.
It's really impactful. And not only because it helps with sleep, but it helps with muscle recovery and it getting your body into kind of like that parasympathetic state.
Yep.
But also magnesium is used in like every bodily process and it's depleted all day long.
Yeah.
So supplement form of magnesium I think is super beneficial for a lot of people. I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of people.
Yeah. I had to stop taking the third pill, which was, I don't remember how many milligrams were in each one,
Yeah.
but I was doing two and I'm like, I think I feel like I noticed a difference. And I
Yeah.
did three and I certainly passed out faster, but I was having weird ass dreams.
Yeah, if you take a high dose of magnesium, I think high dose is like 400 to 600 milligrams or maybe
Yeah.
above that or
Either 200 milligrams each. That makes sense because I was doing 400 with two pills for a long
yeah.
period of time. And you're like, well, I've been taking three. And I'm like, all right, let me try it. And I swear I did it for a week straight. And I'm like, I've had the strangest, weirdest dreams
You can't,
lately.
yeah,
Like
you can't have
and
weird
I'd stopped
dreams.
taking them and it went away.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a thing. If you have
Kind of wild.
too high of magnesium, you can have some weird dreams. So be careful with that. But yeah, setting up your sleep environment so you can get good quality and enough sleep, I think is really important.
Yeah.
So
Another thing, we call it the replacement game. I think it's easy to get caught up with adding things in. Like, I need to start doing this, I need to start
mhm.
doing that, I need to start doing this. I would say that either replacing or removing is probably more beneficial for most people.
And or even I think removing too. It's just like, okay, yeah, you want to add all these new habits. Well, let's
Replacing or
first,
removing, yeah.
yeah, let's first look at what are the bad ones that we need to get rid of.
Yeah, I think everybody does something obvious that they probably shouldn't be doing or they know that they could cut.
Yeah.
And it's just like saying, okay, how does this really serve me?
Yeah.
And if I can't completely let go of it and it feels like it's habitual and I kind of need to grab onto that, how do I replace that? So,
Yeah.
like, I have to have carbonated drinks. Like,
You're a big
I
need a
need some
carbonation
type of
drink at the end
carbonated
of the
drink.
night. Yeah.
Instead of doing like a beer or a soda, it gives me a chance to feel like it's like just kind of like I don't know, it's a
The bubbly
treat.
treat at the end of the day
Yeah,
is
for
what it
sure.
is.
And
Yeah.
so that's a replacement for me. I'm not going to go without some type of carbonated drink.
And it's usually just like a carbonated
Yeah,
water,
yeah, yeah.
mineral water, a
Yep.
flavored carbonated
Yeah,
water.
something
Yeah.
just to, I don't know,
Yeah.
feel like,
Yeah, I guess.
yeah,
We've had a lot of ASMR this afternoon
yep.
here.
Yeah, I won't do the coffee sip for you
Yeah.
guys that we did earlier. But yeah, I think that that's a great example.
Yeah.
Another one, I know this gets into food and we say we're going to talk about that, but like changing ingredients, just alternative options,
Healthier
you know,
versions of maybe
swap
traditional
traditional pasta with, or like
brown rice,
with brown
gluten-free
rice or gluten
pasta.
free
Yeah.
or chickpea pasta,
Yeah.
swap the deep scrolling on your phone with learning something new and playing
Or reading a
or
book.
reading a book, yeah, whatever it might
I know
be.
you're not a big physical book reader, you're
Yeah,
more of an audio listener, but I read every night.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. I gotta move.
Yeah, I feel like there's a million and one examples that we could use for that. But if you've got something that you're working towards and you've got some other habits that are hindering you from seeing the success that you want, replace it with one of the better habits or just straight up get rid of that habit.
Well,
And
yeah,
then
because I think that it's so easy to just be like, well, let me add this and let me add this and let me add this
let
and
me
I
add
need to do
this
this.
supplement, let me
And
add
then all
this
of a
and this.
sudden
But
you're
if you're,
overwhelmed with all the stuff that you're trying to keep up with and
yeah,
add in. And what happens? You don't just slowly go back to what you're doing before, you just cut it all at once.
yeah,
And I think
yeah,
that's a big challenge for people is just to be able to take these small steps to be like, all right, cool. For the next 2 weeks, I'm just going to add this in and remove that.
yeah,
Or I'm just going to remove this and see what happens.
yeah,
So there's a level of patience I think goes with this activity.
yeah,
But very small changes or substitutions or removals can make significant differences over a long period of time.
yeah,
Alcohol being one of them as well. Like
for sure.
if you're drinking on a regular basis and you're not happy with the way that you're performing or the way you look or feel, cut that down, remove it, like swap it, like I said.
With a carbonated water.
Yeah, something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I grew up with like the, hey, let's crack a beer open. It was a long day type of thing,
Yeah, for sure.
and being able to separate from like, I don't really need the beer. I just need the activity,
Yeah,
the idea.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're just finding other ways to decompress at the end of the day. I
Yeah.
think, yeah,
Yep.
that's a big one. So, I mean, I know we talked a little bit about just like being more efficient with your time and structuring, what your days look like, but I think there's an element to like also being adaptable too, because not every day is going to be perfect or go the way that you want it to go. So,
Yep.
yes, having structure, yes, having a plan is important, but also like adapting on the fly if you need to is a big thing that you should just be ready for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can create as much predictability as you possibly want, but you don't have control over everything. So being
Yeah.
able to pivot when things go different, and we
Yeah.
talked about this in the last episode too, about like seasons of life are going to look a little bit different. So
Yeah.
what works for you today is not going to work for you necessarily 6 months from now if
Yeah.
things change,
For sure. Yeah.
and you can't have the same routine or the same environment. And I think that's another thing too, where like you had to be always adapting to what's going to make the most sense for you for where you're at.
Yeah. Because where you're at is going to continue to evolve and change.
Yeah,
So,
there's one constant in life, and that's change.
yes. Get
Eh,
used to it,
Yeah,
bud.
get used to it, bud. But I think it's one of those things where it's like having the bare minimum standard in place during those scenarios too,
Yeah.
where, like, man, I really have to do something physical for my body today,
Yeah.
or I really have to decompress today. I can't meditate for 30 minutes. What am I going to do? And it's like, meditate for 5 minutes
Yeah. Yeah.
or
And
go
that's
on a walk. You don't have to get a workout in.
this is
I know
just
we weren't
where
talking about fitness, but it's the same kind of stuff.
consistency
Yeah.
comes into play of like I'm consistently doing these things. So if one day I can't, like it's not gonna like totally throw me off,
Yep.
right? And that could be drinking my water before my coffee every day.
Yep.
Okay, you do it 6 days out of 7 and you don't do it one day, like big whoop. That's
Yep.
not gonna like totally throw you off of
Well,
your
it's like
routine,
a
right?
game of momentum, and maintaining momentum is
Yeah.
crucial. So even if it's not the ideal structure or execution or scenario,
Yeah.
as long as you're doing something to move the needle forward and you have that bare minimum standard that you're like, okay, cool, I'm at least going to do this today
Yeah.
and that will make me better and I'm going to come to grips with that and I'll go to sleep. And before I go to sleep, I'll do my best to set myself up for a better day tomorrow
Yeah,
so that I can
exactly.
try to get ahead of the curve. So that's a really good practical tip too, is like if you feel yourself getting behind, it's okay to take a day to stop and reset so that you have the opportunity to get back ahead the next day.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't get it all the things I need done today. Maybe I end up eating fast food because it's the only thing that's convenient. But if that's what lets me feed myself now, go to the grocery store, get what I need to reset the rest of my week,
Yeah.
or get my laundry done at the house, or whatever the thing
The
is
thing
to
is,
create the right lifestyle design or environment,
yeah.
it's okay to take a day off to recreate sustainability and structure for the days moving forward,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But it's all about habits. Habits turn into routines. Routines turn into a lifestyle.
So you got to start from the foundational things in your life, build those habits, and it just kind of becomes a natural way of like, this is just how I do things. This is how I live. This is how I go about my day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that that's a thing that we talk about specifically here with like our client journey.
Yes.
We start everybody with a 12-week focus, a season of change. where we reestablish foundational habits, create the right environment, get you into a routine, and then start to just like really establish what needs to change.
Yeah.
Then really the next 90 days after that, from 3 to 6 months, it's about how do I maintain consistency so that my habits become a part of the routine that I'm consistently practicing.
Yeah.
And no matter what you're doing, whether it's investing money, time, in relationships, in your fitness, in creating a better space for yourself,
Yeah.
a better mental health, if you do something for 6 months, you're going to see a significant change.
Yeah.
And when you start doing that, it'll motivate and reinforce the routine. So really from that point, the next 6 months, you're focusing on like, how do I take that routine and make it a part of who I am, not something I do?
Yeah.
How do I identify with
Yeah.
this version of myself and change my identity around my routine
Yeah.
so that there's no letting go of it, because it's like, I can't not do that.
Yeah.
I can't not live this way. I can't not have this. I can't not do this. Like I've intentionally created a new habit, settled into consistency, made it a routine, identified with that type of person, and then you can master it. And I think that's what it comes to from there, right? Like
Yeah.
we talk to clients about this on the fitness side, but I think it's very applicable to every aspect of how you design your life around being a healthier person collectively.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it all ties in together, which kind of just full circles it. Is there are so many different things in your life that you can be adapting and fine tuning to get healthier or to have better health than just what you're doing in the gym
Or what you're eating.
or what you're eating.
Now, also nutrition has a massive piece of the puzzle.
They're both a
And
big piece
activity
of
is
the
a massive piece
puzzle.
of the puzzle.
But the point of today was to just like open your eyes up to like, look, there are so many other lifestyle factors and habits that can also impact your ability to see the results from the work that you're doing in the gym or the food that you're putting into your body every day.
Yeah.
That can help you see that maybe transformation that you're looking for, or improvement in health that you're looking for. That's not just the weight training and diet side of things.
Yeah. Well, when you
Diet as in food that you eat,
Yeah.
not diet that you're following.
when you create a life around supporting healthier decisions and an environment around supporting healthier decisions, those types of things just become more natural,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
it's just like
You're going to be more conscious of the
lifestyle
choices
design.
that you're making
Yeah.
because it
because you
all
have the
goes hand in hand.
mental capacity to do it, because you got enough rest,
Yeah.
because you put yourself in the right environments conducive to make you more productive,
Mm-hmm.
use the right support and team and people around you to really make it easier and more desirable, so that you don't have to feel like, damn, I don't want to do this. And even if you do have those moments where you can like recognize or train yourself to say, okay, on the other end of this, if I remove this or replace it or stick with it, like I know the reward's going to be better on the other side, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure.
Because the reality is like you have to do something for a long period of time to see sustainable change. And if it's not something you can design in a way that's going to make it easy to repeat and stay consistent with,
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard to break through.
Well, sustainability and longevity is the name of the game. So what can you do for the long term?
Yeah.
You just got to find it.
Okay. Is now my chance to guess?
I guess. Yeah.
57.
5640.
Get out of town. Are you serious?
I think
Nate was ready to go.
Thank you. It's not the seat that I'm sitting in.
I guess not. You
Do
can
you-
have your seat back next time.
Do I get some respect out of this? Like I didn't look at the clock once.
Good job.
I barely even saw
So
the
I'm
red and
so
the green.
proud of you. You know what? I could play this game too, but you have a watch on. Did you look down at your watch?
Oh my goodness. Guys, did I look at my watch? Go watch the whole
Go
episode
watch
again
the
on
whole
YouTube.
episode on YouTube.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I just have a weird knack about understanding how much time I'm spent doing things. I told Nate, I'm like, I have done more 45 to 60-minute appointments
I know.
in my life
I know.
than I can even imagine counting.
Woohoo.
And that's not a brag. When you do the same shit for 15 years,
Yeah.
you get good about where you're at with
Where
that.
you're at with your time.
I'm waiting for you to be like, then why are you never on time to anything?
Okay. We could go down a whole rabbit
We're
hole.
not. So thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Wait. This episode of the Higher Form podcast is powered by Avexia Health and Performance, your home for smart training, simple nutrition, and real accountability. Built to help you look, feel, and perform your best. Whether you're just getting started or chasing your next level, visit AvexiaKC.com to learn more and start building your higher form today.